All right, this G Checker signing in. We got brother Heru right here trying to run a smear campaign, which is all good. He talks a good game. He's very convincing, and I want to give him credit and props. When you're shadow boxing, you look good. You can look fancy. You know what I'm saying? You can just look good and sharp and on point. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody swinging them back. As soon as you get in the ring and you get your jaw tapped, now you want to fall apart. So I'm about to let Heru do his little talking since he wants to go around checking somebody. Pay attention.
What the hell is going on with this Christian Hebrew Israelite camp? Not all, particular some of them. And it's the ones that tend to be online all the damn time, right? You can tell that these people don't really know shit, but what they do is they read stuff and then they come out as if they found something new. The problem is they ain't reading no books. And they showing the hell ain't reading no sources off the territory sources because they come out and they be like, oh, look at this, I got you. Oh, look at this. And they don't even understand that they like suicide. They worse than a suicide bomb. And they don't even.
Yep.
They worse than a suicide bomb.
Now watch this suicide bomber later on in this little so-called half-baked roast come in there and start letting off bombs, dropping bombs over Baghdad on him. See, he ain't ready. Heru ain't ready. He ain't never been ready. But it sounds good.
Because they should have a very short fuse and they ain't doing no damage but to their damn self and to people in a community that actually have information. By the time you get done with their shit, you don't want to listen to nobody else that might have information. Because the shit is so badly presented, you're like, oh, hell no. So, you know how the brothers was going on, and you know how they was talking about, Kemet gay as hell. They infatuated with Kemet. They got Kemet envy. Kemet is like the penis they never had. They just look at it and get angry. Everything about Kemet and Canaan, they just hate. You know what I'm saying? It's like that dude it's like the dude who ain't got a car but always mad at motherfuckers who got a car or got good shit, so he talks shit on the side. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit they do, right?
What happened tonight, Heru? What happened?
Man, look, these motherfucking pseudo men and blind Christians talking shit again. So G-Checker, so how it started is this, right? You talk about Kemet is gay and they had the brother from the Golden Beetle, right? Mm-hmm. And they had that thing with Jabari, with Michael Edwards and Jabari showing them the shit, right? So I showed them a picture of these dudes who gay as hell. I'm gonna see if I can show you my screen so y'all can see exactly.
That was Yawer, wasn't it? Wasn't that Yawer?
Yeah. Yeah,
that was.
I'm trying to see if I can show my shit. I see. That's why I can.
What's wrong with these niggas, yo?
So I showed you right the picture. There's the picture here. You go right here. Let me share this motherfucker right here so we can talk about it.
Shit.
Let's talk about it.
God damn.
Right? Did y'all see that picture?
Hold on, let me get there.
Let me see. Application windows and title.
Yo, that shit crazy, yo.
Right? Shit. Man, it's just a lot easier when you
that other nigga probably some other nigga that's on the fucking goddamn sodomized shit.
Okay.
About the debate, yo.
So if y'all see it, there's these two black dudes. They gay. And then one is a pastor. Mother got the ring around his neck, hugging his Moses. And so I was like, y'all talk about gay people in the Kemet community, and look at this shit. This dude got a congregation preaching, probably got a whole gay church. So
So why he be talking all that roster? Like, ain't he with the Ethiopian thing or something?
Who? Which one?
The nigga with the priest, ain't that you said it's Yara, right?
Yeah, Yara is the one who was talking about, oh, Kemet's gay and him in
the picture. In the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's the one you said that's Yara.
Yeah, that's him.
No, that's not Yara. That's just a picture of a dude.
Okay, all right.
No. That's just a picture of a dude. And I was showing, I'm like, look.
Oh, man, kill us. So he said, is that Yara? Oh, my goodness, man. This is hilarious, man. This is man, this is comedy, yo. This straight comedy. My bad.
Because he had the pre shit up. Right? That's why that one fucked me up in the glasses.
Yeah, y'all got a gay pastor with his gay husband preaching to a fucking congregation. And you want to say something about Kemet. So then they want to go into the whole thing. Oh, he not fucking Christian. He said he looked like he like a Kemetic brother. No, this brother's a Christian. You can see that he's a Christian.
They're trying to make an excuse for him.
Yeah. Then he wants to say, oh, but look at that Kemetic cross he got on his neck. Now, this is what I mean when I say they just don't have the scholarship. And that's why I tell Chris, don't waste your time with these motherfuckers. And excuse me for talking, I'm just...
See, here you can tell Heru doesn't know what he's talking about. And he really doesn't know history, because had he known history, he would know Rome adopted Egyptian customs, Greek customs. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Greeks copied the Egyptians, adopted their stuff. So what is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Talking about the rosary beads with a cross. Where does the cross come from? You know what I'm saying? Rome bit Egypt and Greece. Greece bit Egypt. Egypt got the ox. So where did the cross come from? If it's so if modern day Christianity is Roman Catholicized, you know what I'm saying? He can't even put together a good argument, you know what I mean, to support his own belief. He's cutting himself up and don't even know it. That's how ridiculous he is.
Can't believe the stupidity of these motherfuckers, man. The lack of knowledge. Because he said, look at the Kemetic, that those beads are Kemetic. What would make you think those damn beads are Kemetic? And if you knew anything, the beads is on a cross, and the cross is a rosary. The rosary is Roman Catholic, which started your Christianity. Don't learn your history. Everything about this. He believe in Christ, you believe in Christ. You read the Old Testament, he read the Old Testament. Same thing. So what do you mean Kemetic? Don't, you know what I'm saying? You trying to place us in your space. So then he got burned on that, right? Then the thing that happened today, Chris, is, Chris, did he leave? Killer.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I thought he was on. Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was still on.
So what happened is then the man wanted to send me an article, right? He sends me an article. And I'm going to read what the brother just said, right? He says, Heru, Egypt was one of the nations spreading STDs. So cut out the nonsense. And we got infected by participating in your immoral lifestyles. Now you can see how they automatically always go to the scapegoat for stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? Egyptians weren't sheep herders, right? We weren't sheep herders. We wasn't out herding fucking wild ass animals all day, all night, days upon days without a woman. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't us. That was y'all. We was too busy building shit. Then I read the article, right? Sexually transmitted diseases in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. Now, you know how we do, right? If you give us something, we go look at it, we go read it, find out exactly what's going on.
Right.
The first thing the article says is there is no credible evidence for the existence of either syphilis or gonorrhea in ancient Egypt, despite such claims as older Egyptological literature. Currently, no sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, are accepted as present in the Pharaonic era. Now, if you say the Pharaonic era, what happened after what happened? So before the Pharaonic era, we have Egyptian. What happened after the Pharaonic era? What era is that afterwards? We have Egypt. We talking about the Ptolemy era.
Right.
We go into the Assyrians, the Ptolemies, and then the Romans, which are not ancient Egyptian, but they would know that because they stupid as hell. So you hand me an article that cuts yourself. Then it talks about how, however, analysts of ancient medical papyri, in conjunction with ancient depictions and mummy autopsy data, suggests that there were 3 previous unidentified STDs that existed in ancient Egypt. So when we say ancient Egypt, we know we have to go to a timeline, which they never have. Never have. They can't tell you exactly when Moses was there. They can't tell you when Abraham was there. They can't tell you when David was there. They can't tell you nothing. They get, oh, well, I don't know. Let me go into Egypt and find myself again. Oh, let me go into Sumer and look at a king's list and let me find myself there. Just making up all kind of nonsensical shit, right? So it just told you that currently no sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, are accepted as present in the Pharaonic era, which were the ancient Egyptians. Anything that you tell me after that don't mean anything to me, does not pertain to our history. Because
okay, this is history.com. You don't get more credible than history.com. It's telling you about ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? Let's define ancient Egypt according to the abstract. For almost 30 centuries, from its unification around 3100 BCE till its conquest by Alexander the Great in 32 BC, ancient Egypt was the preeminent civilization in the Mediterranean world. So guess what? Those diseases occurred during ancient Egypt. It's funny, but before the Pharaonic, the Pharaohic era. So you got to assume the Pharaohic era would be before the Hyksos ruled that land. But the Hyksos brought laws, so it's a good chance the Hyksos ended that perverseness. Because you do see mummies with genital herpes and all those other diseases. You know what I'm saying? He could deny the evidence.
We know after the Pharaonic era is the invasion of the Asiatic, and then we get into the European with the Greek and the Romans, and then we get the Muslims. So who the hell are you talking about? And then Yara, which G Checker, I mean, I'm not surprised about him. But Yara, the cosign on this article without reading it, and I would assume that, you know what I'm saying, that Yara has more intellectual integrity about what comes out of his mouth or what he cosigns on. Because as an elder, I look for that, even if I don't agree with him.
Yeah.
Right? But it seems as you get, you know what I'm saying, you are who you hang around with, your association. So he's getting stupider by hanging around stupid people. Or I ain't gonna call it stupid. I'll say unscholarly people. He's lowering his scholarship.
Brother Heru continues to cut himself up. He doesn't even know it. Check this out. Pharaoh is a common title of the monarchs of ancient Egypt from the first dynasty, which is 3150 BCE, until the annexation of Egypt by the Roman Empire in 30 BCE. But the interesting part is, although the actual term pharaoh was not used contemporarily contemporaneously. Let's find out what that means. Contemporaneous, existing, occurring, or originating during the same time, social and political events that were contemporaneous with each other. What's interesting is the Hyksos came around 1600. Okay? Moses and them came around. Let me pull out my biblical timeline. Moses came around 1500 BCE. So he was using the term. He was pretty much a coiner. He coined it. Okay? And the Hyksos came 100 years before that. So what you see here is the term Pharaoh and even Egyptian. That's Hebrew too. And why did it show up? Why did it not show up until the Merneptah? Where guess who's mentioned? The Hebrews. So, with that being said, Heru is totally out of his class. He's a lightweight, bantamweight. Now he ain't even a bantamweight. He's like a Golden Glove spar. That's what he is. You know, he's who you want to spar against for your first fight in the Golden Gloves. So, Heru, you're looking real bad, brother. You took no time to research anything. I'm finding this stuff on the fly just listening to you.
Yep.
I can't even take his word now because y'all already said a lot of stuff and I would go look it up because I at least thought that he may be somewhat credible. His scholarship was somewhat, you know what I'm saying? Regardless whether you agree or disagree, the information based on what he's saying, how he said it, and the research he did was something you look at. He's co-signing on shit that people just saying, and I'm assuming that if you co-signed on it, oh, you're not ready, oh, he's not ready, meaning you read the article. I would, you know what I'm saying? You can tell when Chris don't agree with you or he think your shit is shaky. Chris don't say shit.
Yeah.
He won't open his mouth or he'll correct. How many times do Chris correct motherfuckers for saying the name wrong?
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a name, not a date. If you say something wrong, he corrects you. Right? If you have a problem with something and you might not know what you say, you'd be like, okay, well, I'm not sure, but I think it's this.
Right.
Can somebody look this up? Oh, I don't think this right. These don't do that. They just continue to go on and on and on with nonsensical shit, and they try to make up stuff as they go, right? And then the brother wanted to, Then he wants to go. So I didn't kill him on his article. So I didn't kill him on his own article, bodying him. This is the second Christian Hebrew that bodied himself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, how do you start a fight with somebody and beat your own ass? That's ridiculous. And then he says, man, your doctrine gets beat up all the time behind the scenes. Now, what's funny is, just like Sinetta was saying when it came to Black Jesus Minister and Polite, he says, Christian Hebrews always say they win. It don't matter what happened. They always claim a victory. Even most of the time they losing. And they always claim a victory. You can tell they losing because they always saying they won. You know what I'm saying? So putting a smiley face at the end doesn't make it. It says Egypt. The point is Egypt was gay. And he says, I post a link that you choose to deal with. Now, he always talking about Egypt is gay. So we're talking about abomination. So he said your doctrine, right? Only thing he talked about is the contention of Heru and Set. That's the main thing they go to, which are non-real, they're not realistic people. It's a story that was presented that had a certain meaning by all symbology, right? You have in your book, which you take literal, men, raping women, killing women. You know what I'm saying? You have a law that you shouldn't sleep with animals, which means that y'all must have been sleeping with fucking animals.
To deal with this this text he wants to deal with, you know what I mean, the papyrus of Ani or whatever, you know. Basically, Heru is butthurt, and that's like a double joke, because he's butthurt that his doctrine sucks, and then he's butthurt about Egypt being gay. You know what I'm saying? To the point where his confessions show up around 1250 BCE. The Papyrus of Ani, a text of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, who people say, you know, Mayat, that's all I need. Mayat is Hebrew, and it came from the Hebrews. So, he's so unlearned. And this is part one. I'm about to end part one because it's late. You know what I mean? We just had the debate, and I had to go through the beginning because I jumped on at the end. And our conversation, for some people, it's going to be fruitful. But for Heru, he talked a lot of junk, and he wasn't able to come through. He wasn't able to pull through. So I'm a little disappointed at the brother. But not really, you know what I mean? That's what I do. I come through and, you know, beat cats up like that. You know what I mean? Heavyweights is going to be a little bit more of a struggle, you know what I'm saying? But if they give me time to dig through the research, and it ain't right, you know, it'll get dealt with. But anyways, Heru, you're looking bad, brother. You shouldn't have did this. You know, you probably should have, you know, came behind the scenes like you normally do, get beat up behind the scenes, and nobody would know. But you chose to, you know, do it on a public platform. You know, hey, you try to check me, then I came in and checked you. I checked in to check you. Okay, well, with that being said, shalom, you know what I mean? I'll try to get to the next video where we actually had a discussion towards the end of the day. And I got this from Killer Bee's channel. You know what I'm saying? So go check that brother out. Shalom.
When I step up in the place, say yo, I step correct. Got you all in check. I got that head notch that make you break.